time has come once again to discuss things.
Okay. Hi everyone, welcome to another episode of Geeky Gentlemen. I am Sid Pardew. Joining me today is Rasko's Modern Life, and we are continuing our series on fan film reviews. But before we announce what fan film we're reviewing, even though it's in the title and you can go see that, I just want you to know that you can now download episodes of Geeky Gentlemen and listen on the go. There's a link in the description. New episodes are posted with the episodes on YouTube. Old episodes can be posted by request. Just leave a comment on the old video. If you don't know what old episodes you would want posted, hey, check it out. There's a Geeky Gentleman playlist that you can look through and see all 300-something of our episodes that we've done. And, like I said, just leave a comment. I'll upload the audio, let you know when it's up, then bam! There you go. Anyway, Rasko, what are we talking about today?
Today we're talking about a fan film called Terminator Resistance, a fan film by Made Legit Media.
Yes, and interestingly, I don't know if you know this or not, but we're returning to a crew this time.
Oh, I knew that name sounded familiar. What else did they make? Oh, they made the Marvel Knights one.
Yep, they made the Marvel Knights Spider-Man one. And this came out, I guess, like maybe a year before their like Marvel Knights one, which is what made them really, really famous. Would it be wrong to say this is a lot better?
I guess it's definitely a lot more ambitious, probably.
I mean, I think the ambition pays off here. I think this is I like this a lot more than the Marvel Knights Spider-Man. It's not to say anything bad about that one. I just think this one works better. I think the Marvel Knights Spider-Man one is good. I think this is honestly great.
Great.
This is better than Terminator Salvation. That's where I'm standing on it right now. How about you?
Yeah, so I think that this is, on all levels, pretty solid. Mm-hmm. I personally think that it's about as good as the Alien one that we watched.
Yeah, I'd say it's probably a little bit better.
Okay.
Just because it does more, it actually shows you the creature kind of thing.
Yeah, I think you're probably right. It's probably a little bit better than that. And I don't remember what our scores were for that. So I think I probably gave that like a 4 or something like that. Mm-hmm. So this is pretty good, and it's, for the most part, it's really well filmed, and it's impressive because like they obviously had to use a practical Terminator robot.
Yeah, I watched a little behind the scenes like gag reel kind of thing, and you can see them playing with it. It's like, looks like it's in 2 parts, and you'll notice you never get a full shot of the puppet. It's always torso or just the legs. You never see the full thing. And so they had it in like 2 sections.
And that's really cool. Like, that's the kind of, in a way, like, this is, like, it's pretty legit the way they made it, I guess. Because, like, they made this movie similar to how you would have had to make it, like, in the first place. Except in the first Terminator film, they did use a lot of stop motion. But then they also had to use, just, like, a fucking actual robot.
Yeah, I agree. I thought that was pretty impressive. I have, like, one problem with the robot, in that it turns its head, but it doesn't, like, tilt its head left, like, up or down.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so it just looks a little awkward, like when the guy's on the floor after it shoots up the trailer, like it should be looking down at him, and it's just kind of, straight on.
That is accurate.
So that was my only real problem with the effects. I mean, it would have been cool if they could have maybe meshed the 2 parts together for at least one good shot of the thing, foot to head, like do a pan or something like that. That would have been cool, but otherwise, no, I thought the Terminator looked really well integrated. Not quite as well as the original Terminator film, but damn close.
Yeah. And, I think, again, so what do you think of the acting in this?
I think the acting's pretty good in this overall. Like, it's got really sparse dialogue, so a lot of the acting is just visual in the moment stuff. And none of the dialogue's delivered poorly. It's just kind of either really, standard delivery for a fan film or delivered well. But the tense moments of, the quiet fear, the gasping, the move away kind of things, I thought that all worked really well.
Mm-hmm.
Did you have any thoughts on the acting, though?
I think, yeah, for the most part, it's pretty, I guess, for a fan film, it's pretty, decent acting. Like, it's all serviceable enough for the fan film itself. And, it's kind of, on par with, I would say, the effects, in a way. Where it's, it's not necessarily as good as the movie, but it's definitely, most fan films are not as good as, the acting is not as good as the acting in the films, because, obviously, those are, amazing actors,
yeah,
shit like that. But,
yeah, with fan films, you get who you can get, and you hope that they can act, which is why I never really talk too much about acting in fan films. I just think it's, I feel like complaining about acting to a point in fan films is like complaining about a movie made before the 40s being in black and white.
Yeah,
that's just how it is. It's just something you have to deal with fan films. You're on a very strict budget. You get who you can get, and
I would agree. Yeah, that's kind of fair.
Now, it can still get to the point where the acting is so bad that you can't let it go. I understand that, but if there's nothing that's making you laugh out loud bad, then it's usually fine. No, I thought the acting was pretty good in this. I was reasonably impressed with the cast they were able to get, because usually fan films tend to also be younger actors.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, this didn't have young actors until the last shot. And
yeah,
I don't know.
That's funny, dude.
Yeah, I'm kind of torn on that, because the one soldier that we see get killed, he's fairly older guy, late 20s, maybe early 30s, I'd guess. The husband and wife that both one dies, the other gets mortally wounded, I guess. They're both clearly middle-aged people. Little girl fit perfectly for being a little girl. It's just the other soldiers, they're high school, college age, early 20s, late teens. And I don't know, I'm torn on that, because maybe that's just what the Resistance is just anyone they can get that's wanting or willing to fight no matter what.
Yeah.
And so you get that's what the military is. A lot of young men, mostly in their late teens, early 20s.
Yeah. Did you see did you notice the shot in this film that's a miniature?
Yeah, I thought that looked pretty damn good.
Yeah, I think that's really cool. I like miniature usage and stuff.
Yeah, and to do that for one shot's pretty damn impressive.
Yeah, that's why it's cool, is just because they used it so sparingly, but it's
Mm-hmm. If it were me, I would have just stolen a shot from another movie.
Thief Ian.
What? You can do that if you can make your stock look good enough.
Ian.
Thief
Ian.
Oh, Thief Ian. Gotcha. It's a fan film. There are different rules. Yeah, I thought the miniature shot was really well done. They put a lot of work into one shot, and that's pretty cool. Because most things, if they had any CG at all, it would just be, put a CG city or whatever, like off in the distance and make it look all fucked up.
Yeah.
And then integrate it into your shot. But no, they didn't do that here. That was cool. Yeah, I liked the miniature. I liked a lot of the effects work. The Terminator was so damn well integrated. I had trouble telling if it was a puppet or if it was CG, but ultimately, just analyzing the movement, I realized it was a puppet.
Yeah, did you see the, I thought the way they integrated the Hunter Killer was also pretty good.
That was cool. Yeah, I thought that looked fantastic.
That was, because I'm skimming through it again with the audio off right now and looking at like some of these specific effects. I'm like, yeah, that was pretty cool.
Yeah, I thought that looked great. I love the way we go into the Hunter Killer and the Terminator's vision to just, I always loved that in the original Terminator films, so it's cool to see that and have it, give you exposition without having to have a character say it or something.
Yeah.
That's a nice little trick. Yeah, I thought the Terminator, it moved fairly well. Like, it benefits from the fact that it's a robot.
Yeah.
So they can get away with the fact that it's not moving very fluidly because it's a robot, so they're a little, clunkier. The Hunter Killer looked good. I love the shot, like, from under the turbines, where it's, like, all purpley or whatever.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah, I know what you're talking about, yeah.
Yeah, I thought that looked cool.
Yeah.
Did any of the effects, like, bother you at all in it, or did you think they, like, really well achieved everything they were trying to?
No, yeah, they especially some like they really got like the laser, like because obviously in Terminator, the Terminators shoot in the future, the Terminators shoot like this weird purple laser, and like that looks really good when the Terminator like shoots stuff.
I'm a little confused on that because it clearly has to reload. And I can't remember whether or not the Terminators in the movies had to reload those.
I don't know. It's a weird future. I would assume yes, because I've played Terminator video games. Reloading is a thing in those, and like
yeah, and they had laser shots though. Because if you're talking about Terminator Salvation, the thing that pissed everyone off about that, besides the game just being awful and the movie itself, was that they still had, bullet guns. They didn't have lasers. And that's what made, like, the future kind of cool, was they had lasers.
It's a weird thing where, like, they have laser guns, but it's kind of like G.I. Joe, where they have laser guns that reload.
Which makes no sense.
But I think it's hilarious and awesome. It's like a battery, almost. Like, we're out of batteries to power our laser guns. Or, like, it's almost like the car, like, the magazine is like a battery for the gun.
That'd be a good way to get around that, I suppose.
Yeah.
I don't know. I thought that was an interesting, like, visual, and I'm not sure if I assume they would have to, because they would have had to plan out the fact that the Terminator was going to reload.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna give them a little bit of credit because I find they've put a lot of work into these. So I'm going to give them credit, even though I haven't done the research, and say that I believe that Terminators reload their laser guns in the future.
Yeah, and it's weird because I don't know if they ever, in any of the Terminator films, would have it, like, a Terminator would have needed to reload their gun. Like, I don't even know if they've, like, demonstrated that in the movies, but I don't even know if you, like, would have needed a Terminator to reload its gun for that to be the case. Like, because, like, what futuristic stuff we get in the Terminator films, you wouldn't really necessarily even know if they reloaded or didn't, because it's how little you actually see of the Terminators, like.
You rarely see Earth's future.
Yeah.
You get, like, it's more or less just a prologue to the first two films, and then everything after that, who fucking cares? I say this as someone who didn't hate Salvation, but who fucking cares? I tend to agree with you. it's just one of those things where I thought about that. I'm like, wait a minute, if it's a laser, then why would you need to reload it? But I guess that's more on the franchise than themselves.
Yeah, because I'm trying to think. There was this one Terminator game where you played as like Kyle Reese in the future, I think.
And you're sure it wasn't Terminator Salvation, which is...
No, and I'm positive it wasn't, because it was an older game, and you had like 2 akimbo laser guns, and I think you reloaded them.
Okay. Well, see, now that doesn't make any sense, but whatever. That's a franchise problem, not a fan film problem.
Yeah, yeah, this is so unrelated
the whole
to
thing
this
was
fan film.
the whole thing was that humans weren't able to carry the plasma rifles because, like, the recoil would break your arm, which is why only the T-800s could use them. But whatever. Yeah, I don't know, I quite like a lot of the effects work. I think it looks pretty good. Again, I just wish the Terminator could have tilted its head to look down.
It was just a slightly malfunction. This is an older model. This is the T400.
No, this would be the T700 if it's anything. Because I've seen a T600.
No, it's the T400, okay, dude? These don't put their heads up and down. That was why they had to redesign them, and that's how we got to the T600, okay? Everybody knows this.
Maybe it's just a malfunctioning Terminator.
No.
No.
Wrong.
No.
It's incorrect.
It's this much more complicated answer.
Wrong!
Yeah. No, I quite liked the effects work, and I guess the problem to talk about the story here is this has the same problem that a lot of fan films we've discussed have, which is it's not really a story.
Yeah, it's just kind of like a scene.
It's the opening of a Terminator Resistance movie. That's what
stinger.
this is.
It's like a stinger of an episode of television.
Yeah, and like that's cool. It's a good short film, but it's not. There's not much of a story. Little girl is walking around, you know, the wasteland, gets saved by a resistance person from being killed by a hunter killer. Hunter killer calls in a Terminator. Terminator tries to kill everyone. Resistance shows up, kills the Terminator. There's not much of a story to talk about there. It's just a really cool, action-heavy thing, and it's a logical enough sequence of events. I mean, there's convenience in that the dude is around to save the girl, but maybe he was spying on the hunter killer or something. Who knows? Yeah, there's no story to talk about though.
Yeah.
So it's hard to talk about on that level. I certainly enjoyed it more than Terminator Salvation.
Yeah, it's easier to talk about how technically sound it is rather than like any sort of like narrative substance.
Yeah, I don't know. I quite liked it, but I just don't have a ton that I can say about it. It's like, this part looked cool, this part not so much. And that's unfortunate because I did quite enjoy this. You got anything else we can bring up with it?
I don't know. I'm just kind of curious, like, what camera they use and stuff like that. Like,
I couldn't tell you.
Like, ask them, because I don't know.
Yeah.
I imagine it's like a Blackmagic production camera, like a Canon C300 or something. I don't know. I was just curious. I was like checking their description.
It looks fucking amazing.
Yeah.
It looks 100% Hollywood to me.
Yeah, because I can always tell. At least I think I can, because unless this, like, I can normally always tell if it's shot on like a high-end DSLR or like an actual like cinema camera, and but this, it's kind of hard to tell. I think it's shot with an actual like production camera.
Gotcha.
But I don't know.
Yeah, neither do I. There is that featurette, so you could like look at that.
Oh yeah, because
times
they have. See, with the Darth Maul one, I could see what they were filming with. That was cool. I saw all the different cameras they had there.
Yeah. I don't know. I just think it looks good.
Yeah, it does look really fucking good.
Yeah, we're kind of spinning our wheels on this one. We're not even half an hour in, so I guess that's gonna end it. It's a good fan film. It's a cool action scene that there's not a lot to say about.
Yeah.
So I feel bad because I'd like to talk about it more, but I don't have anything else to say. I need I can't really delve into this much more than we already have, without going, a shot-by-shot breakdown of everything that's happening.
Did it have a time stamp anywhere? Like the movie, does it tell us what year this is?
No, I don't believe so.
Okay, I was just wondering.
It would have to be post-Salvation, because that's when they were using guns, if that movie's still in continuity, which I don't think it is.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's fucking
Yeah, did
confusing.
Salvation have... So, in the movie Salvation, they obviously don't... The people don't have laser guns. The Terminators...
Yeah,
what the fuck did they have?
They still had bullets, too. No one had lasers.
Oh,
It was all bullets.
The lasers weren't invented yet.
Yeah, I guess.
Laser technology had yet to arrive.
That was the big drawback from Salvation is, it's the future, but not really.
Wow, that's dumb. But, I mean, they could have... I don't know. Never mind. There's no defending it, so fuck them. Well, so this is obviously after Salvation, so...
Once again, if that's even in continuity. I don't know. I enjoyed it. Let's go ahead and do scores then. I will give this movie 4.5 Predator Hunter Killer drones out of 5.
I'm also gonna give it 4.5 weird, balls on the bottom of the Terminator's foot. That's like the heel of its foot.
That's in the original design.
Yeah, that's when I'm gonna get 4.5 of those out of 5.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Sorry that this is such a short and sparse episode, everybody, but not a lot to say, unfortunately. Made Legit Media, if you happen to have watched, thanks. Glad you saw it. You got 2 positive reviews in a row. Keep it up.
Or else.
Yeah, exactly. Alright, so next week we're going to be reviewing a fan film that someone requested. And that's going to be Mortal Kombat Rebirth. So, yeah, look forward to that one, because that's a longer one.
Woohoo!
So, yeah, there should be a lot more to say about that. Both good and bad. Alright, everyone, thanks very much for watching. Till next time, I'm the Philosopher.
I'm the Squampus.
And we're Geeky Gentlemen, and we will be discussing things.